Intercity League Championship Series between the visiting Reading Bulldogs and the host Lexington Blue Sox. The Blue Sox lead the best-of-5 series 2 games to none. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as a public service to all the fans in attendance tonight, I ask that you please remain alert throughout the game and watch for any foul balls hit in your general vicinity. Thank you. And now, here are tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Reading Bulldogs, leading off and playing center field, number 6, Darren Hartwell. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 3, Kevin Marciano. Batting third and playing second base, number 8, Mike DiDonato. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 42, Zach Tallis. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 44, Mike Taylor. Batting sixth and catching, number 22, Chris Bosco. Batting seventh and playing right field, number 38, Steve Busby. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 20, Mason Clifford. And batting ninth and playing third base, number 12, Johnny Hayes. The starting pitcher for the Reading Bulldogs here in game number 3 is number 24, Alex Mandris. And the Bulldogs are managed by John Halsey. And now for the host Lexington Blue Sox, leading off and playing right field, number 7, Jeff Costello. Batting second and playing first base, number 16, Jeff Vigers. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 9, Dan Graham. Batting cleanup and playing left field, number 24, Julian Alvarez. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, number 4, Ross Curley. Batting sixth and playing second base, number 12, Justin Silvestro. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 17, Thomas Russo. Batting eighth and catching, number 2, John Putras. And batting ninth and playing center field, number 21, Josue Feliciano. Starting pitcher for the Lexington Blue Sox here in game number 3 is number 45, Matt Karis. And the Blue Sox are managed by Rick DeAngelis. Our umpires for game number 3. Jeff January will be calling the balls and strikes. Joe Cacciatore is at first base. Rick Poling at second base. And Sam Finn will be umpiring at third. You're queued up with the anthem, right? So, okay, I'll just look. Ladies and gentlemen, if we can have both teams step up to the foul lines. At this time, we ask you to please rise, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the flag out in right center field as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
From Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Tonight, it's Game 3 of the 2017 Intercity League Championship Series between the Lexington Blue Sox and the Reading Bulldogs, with the Blue Sox leading the best-of-5 series 2 games to none. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. The Blue Sox are 1 win away from clinching their 13th Intercity League Championship, which would put them 1 championship behind the Chiefs franchise for the most in ICL history. Blue Sox have some more history to play for, as they would join the Melrose Rams as the only team, as the only other team in Intercity League history to have multiple streaks of 3 or more championships. They had a 5. They of course won 5 in a row from 2000. 7 to 2011, and they are going for their third in a row tonight. And they have the right man on the mound for that job, Matt Karis, the veteran and the ace in his 9th year on the mound for the Lexington Blue Sox. Matt has made one appearance this postseason, got the win in Game 1 against Somerville, went 6 innings. That was the tightest of basically all the playoff games the Blue Sox have played thus far. Allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And here is the lineup he will face for the Reading Bulldogs. Darren Hartwell is going to lead it off in center field, followed by Kevin Marciano at short. Mike DiDonato is at second. Zach Tallis is the DH. Mike Taylor is at first. Chris Bosco is behind the plate. Steve Busby is in right. Mason Clifford is in left. And Johnny Hayes rounds out the lineup at third base. Karis is done with his warm-ups. John Putras fires the ball to second, and we are ready for Game 3 of the 2017 Intercity League Championship Series. The Blue Sox are looking to win their 9th consecutive playoff game at Morelli and their 12th consecutive postseason game overall. So here is Darren Hartwell stepping into the left-handed side of the batter's box to begin the ball game. Hartwell leading the Bulldogs in average this postseason at .417 with 2 RBIs, and he has an even 1,000 OPS. Karis winds and delivers the first pitch at 8:13, the latest start we've had this series, and it's down and in for ball 1. We're underway. And this is lined, picked up by Ross Curley. We got a story to tell about him when he comes up to bat, and he makes the play for out number 1.
The shortstop, number 3, Kevin Marciano.
So here's the shortstop, Kevin Marciano. Marciano batting .290 with 7 RBIs, which is a team high for the Bulldogs this postseason, as that's outside for ball 1. This is chopped to the left side, foul, and a good bare hand there by the Bulldogs' third base coach. And it's 1-1. This is grounded to the second baseman, Silvestro. Off-balance throw, in time, 2 down.
The second baseman, number 8, Mike DiDonato.
Karis did not face the Bulldogs in the regular season. Here's Mike DiDonato, the second baseman. And he takes strike 1. DiDonato, .333 with 2 doubles, a triple, and 4 RBIs in the postseason. He takes strike 2, 0-2. Swing and a miss at a slider down and away for strike 3. And that retires the side. John Putras thought he had to throw to first, but the home plate umpire said he was in the clear. So 1-2-3 go the Bulldogs in the top of the first. Bulldogs nothing, Blue Sox coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Dr. Thomas Russo General Dentistry of Winchester is a proud supporter of the Lexington Blue Sox and the Intercity League. Dr. Russo and his dental staff offer a full range of dental services in their state-of-the-art office at 63 Shore Road in Winchester Center. Dr. Russo has been bringing high-quality and affordable dental care to his patients from Winchester and all its surrounding towns for 35 years. He regularly attends continuing education courses at Tufts, Harvard, and BU to keep up with the latest dental materials and procedures. Let Dr. Russo and his friendly staff provide you and your family with complete comprehensive dental care. Call 781-721-4700. Alex Mandrus is the starter for the Reading Bulldogs here in Game 3 as they look to prolong their season. Mandrus has made 4 appearances in the postseason with 7 innings, a 2-even ERA, 8 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. His last appearance came in Game 5 against Andre on Sunday in the clincher, threw 1 pitch to get the final out of that series, with the bases loaded and the winning run at first in that situation. Hasn't pitched more than 4 innings in any one game this postseason, and that was against Watertown on the 11th. That is on the outside corner for strike 1 to Jeff Costello. Costello, 375 with 4 RBIs this postseason, and he takes down and away 1-1. Average came down a little bit after an 0 for last night, but still a very successful postseason after a batting title in the regular season. It's chopped to third. It's booted by the third baseman. Hayes, bare hands, recovers, and he won't be able to make the play as Costello reaches.
The first baseman, number 16, Jeff Vigers. Looking close.
Here's the first baseman, Jeff Vigers. Even with Costello's speed, I think Hayes would have gotten him if he made that clean. So, and Vigers is going to lay down a bunt down the third base line. This is going to be another tough play, and he's safe with an infield single. So it'll be an E5 that allows Costello to reach. That is not an error. That is a perfectly placed bunt by Vigers. And here is Dan Graham.
Designated hitter, number 9, Dan Graham.
Maybe on his way to another postseason MVP trophy. He's batting .455 with 2 homers, both coming this series, both coming last night, in fact, and 4 RBIs. His OPS, as he takes strike 1 for the postseason, is 1829. After going 1 for 6 with 3 walks in the semifinals against Somerville, as he takes down and in, good block there by the catcher Bosco, and it's 1-1. He is 2 for 5 with 2 walks and the 2 homers and 4 RBIs I mentioned. Also 2 doubles. He pops this one up into center field. Hartwell going towards left, and it'll actually be the left fielder Clifford making the play for out number 1. And I'll bring up Julian Alvarez, the left fielder.
The left fielder, number 24, Julian Alvarez.
The full lineup for the Blue Sox: Jeff Costello in right, Jeff Vigers at first, Dan Graham's the DH, Julian Alvarez in left, Ross Curley at short, Justin Silvestro at second, Thomas Russo at third, John Putras behind the plate, and Josue Feliciano rounding up the lineup in center. A excuse me swing, and he comes up empty for strike 1. Mandrus made 3 appearances against the Blue Sox in the regular season, as that's down and away, and a throw down to second, and back safely is Costello, 1-1. He had a .81 ERA, 8 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. This is smoke down the left field line, but he was just out in front of that one, and that was foul for a loud strike 2. Stay back a little bit on that one. I think a strategy for the Blue Sox tonight should be going to right field, because Steve Busby got the start in right field tonight, and he is not the fleetest of foot. Breaking ball misses down and away, 2-2. He spent most of the year as the Bulldogs DH, But he's in the field tonight with Zach Tallis in the DH slot tonight. And a spin back towards second, and Costello just walks back there. Blue Sox as a team, their OPS in the postseason is .969. Upstairs, full count. Julian, for his part, batting .222 with 1 RBI in the postseason. Would love to break through here. His 1 RBI on the postseason came in Game 1 of this series. And he pops this one up, foul and over the screen and out of play. So good job staying in there. As after a couple of quick at-bats to begin the ball game, Mandrus is going to throw his 7th pitch here to Julian. He hits this one into center field. Hartwell going back, makes the catch. Tagging from second is Costello, and he will get there safely. That is a gutsy call there by Costello to tag on a fly ball to center that wasn't even hit that deep, but he's got the speed, and there are 2 out with runners on first and third.
The shortstop, number 4, Ross Curley.
Here is Ross Curley, who got here just in the nick of time after his business trip in Toronto yesterday, although Chris Ruocco certainly appreciated the playing time last night, hitting his first ever home run in a Blue Sox uniform last night. And Ross checks his swing, and it's upstairs for ball 1. Costello at third, Vigers at first. Blue Sox had first and second, nobody out. They now have first and third, 2 out. And Ross takes down and away, 2-0. Way outside, 3-0. Mandrus is kind of a swing guy for the Bulldogs. He's started a few games. He's also come out of the bullpen. He is a workhorse. He pitched in 15 games this season and logged 39 1/3 innings with a .267 ERA. That's in there for strike 1, and now Ross will go to work. He only had 1 decision on the season, though, and it was a win against Somerville on July 16th. Went 6 1/3 in that game. This is into left field, and this will get down for a base hit. Costello can walk home. Vigers is going to be held at third. Curley on his way to second with a 2-out RBI double, and the Blue Sox are on the board first. It's 1-0.
The second baseman, number 12, Justin Silvestro.
So let's see what Justin Silvestro can do. Again, with the left-hander at bat. Let's see if he can get it into, pull it down the line and force Busby to chase it. He takes a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Silvestro, 308 this postseason with 1 double and 1 RBI. He skies this one into right field. Back goes Busby. He reaches up. He made the catch. Wow. So much for talking about trying to challenge Steve Busby. He runs that one down, and the side is retired. So Blue Sox get 1 run on 2 hits and 1 Bulldogs error and leave 2 men after 1 complete. Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Zach Tallis getting the start as a DH tonight to lead things off here in the top of the second for the Bulldogs. Middle third of the order, Tallis, Taylor, and Bosco. And Tallis goes after the first pitch, grounds it to first. Took a weird turn on Vigsy, but he makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out. So entering that at-bat, Tallis was batting .323 this postseason with 1 homer and 6 RBIs.
The first baseman, number 44, Mike Taylor.
Here is Mike Taylor. Has a home run to his credit this series. .320, 1 homer, 3 RBIs on the postseason altogether. Up and away, 1-0. That misses the outside corner, 2-0 to a good hitter in Taylor. Taylor this series is batting 2 for 4. He comes up empty, and it's strike 1. He's also drawn a walk. Popped up into center field. In comes Feliciano, and it's going to drop for a base hit. So there's the first base hit of the ball game for the Bulldogs. A little blooper. 1 on, 1 out for Chris Bosco.
The catcher, number 22, Chris Bosco.
Bosco, .269 on the postseason, but 0 for 6 in this series with 2 strikeouts. And he pops this one up. Putty gives it a look, but it's foul for strike 1. That is down and away with a slider, and it's 1-1. Karis in his career in the postseason is 17-3 with a 2.05 ERA. That misses the inside corner, and it's 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Karis last faced the Bulldogs in the postseason on August 13th, 2015. Got a complete game win, allowing 8 hits and 2 runs while striking out 4. Outside, 3-2, and we'll see if they want to run Taylor here. Try and stay out of the double play. Taylor not the fleetest of foot, but you also don't want to run yourself out of runs. This is skied into center field. Feliciano makes the catch, 2 down.
The right fielder, number 38, Steve Busby.
Here is Steve Busby getting his first start in the field in this series. .167 with 3 RBIs in the postseason. And he foul tips this one into Putty's mitt for strike 1. Tried to jam him with a cutter there, and it's 1-1. That's low, 2-1. Karis being maybe a little tentative here to begin the ball game, at least here in the second inning. Umpires tonight, Jeff January calling the balls and strikes, Joe Cacciatore at first, Rick Poling at second, and former Blue Sox pitcher Sam Finn at third. Sam's worked one Blue Sox postseason game already this year, and that was at first base in the game at Trum Field in the semifinals. This is looped into right center field, and this will be caught on the run by Feliciano for the out. That retires the side, so no runs, one hit, no errors, one man left. After 1.5, Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information.
Again, a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking for rosters and stats updated to tonight's game here in the 2017 ICL Championship Series, they are...
Mandris out there for his second inning of work, and he will face Thomas Russo, John Puttress, and Josue Feliciano here in the bottom of the second. Bottom third of the order due up for the Blue Sox. Blue Sox hoping to string together, hoping to capitalize on another scoring opportunity more so than they did in the first when they only got one run out of a first and second nobody out situation. Russo takes down an in-ball one, picked up an RBI double last night, and that certainly helped him, although his average, 167, but he does have a team-high 6 RBIs. Strike one, 1-1. Grounds this one to the right side. DiDonato has a hard time fielding it, fires to first, and overthrows the first baseman, Taylor. And now Russo thinks about going for second, but will hold at first. That's probably going to be an E4. Mm-hmm.
The catcher, number 6. John Puttress.
So here's John Puttress wearing number 6 tonight. He's worn 4 different uniform numbers with the Blue Sox, 35, 5, 2, and now 6. And he gets down a bunt. This is going to be fielded by Mandris, only plays to first, and he whips it over there for out number 1. It's a successful sacrifice. And that'll bring up Josue Feliciano.
The center fielder, number 21, Josue Feliciano.
Sway hit, as you probably all remember, the biggest little hit of his life here 2 years ago in the game in the championship clincher against Andre. No word yet on if it'll be the championship winning RBI, but he would love a big hit right here to drive in Thomas, as that's down low for ball 1. Feliciano batting .364 with 2 RBIs and 5 runs scored. And he skies this one into left center field, and this will be caught by the center fielder Hartwell for out number 2. Just got under that one, underneath that one a little bit too much.
The right fielder, number 7, Jeff Costello.
Lineup turns over for Jeff Costello, who reached on an error and scored in the first. 5 different Blue Sox players have scored at least 5 runs this postseason, as that's on the outside corner for strike one. Costello, who just picked up his 6th. And then Feliciano, Rojas, Graham, and Vigers have each scored 5. Down and away, Russo does not chance it, and it's 1-1. Costello with a OPS entering play tonight of an even 1,000. Breaking ball misses low for ball 2, and I think Mandris is wondering where that pitch was. That's a fastball that misses as well, 3-1. I don't think you give him anything to hit here. He goes after it anyway and fouls it onto Linfells Parkway for strike 2, full count. I think right now you want to get it to right center. Full count, payoff pitch, here it is. Grounded down the third base line and foul. Costello 2 for 8 in the series after 2 for 9 now in the series after taking an 0 for 4 last night and reaching on an error here tonight. Popped up towards the foul fence, and it'll be the first baseman Taylor making the catch in front of the fence for the out that retires the side. Blue Sox strand another runner in scoring position. After 2 complete, Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Blue Sox in the bottom of the 2nd inning, no runs on no hits. There was 1 Bulldogs error and 1 runner left.
You can follow LSP on the web at www.localsportsproductions.com, Facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. You can also subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel and support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. Top of the 3rd with the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for the Bulldogs. Mason Clifford, Johnny Hayes, and Darren Hartwell. Here's Clifford, the left fielder.
Leading off for the Bulldogs in the top of the 3rd inning, the left fielder, number 20, Mason Clifford.
Clifford is batting 167 this postseason and was 0 for 2 last night.
Yeah, just thought of that. Clifford, the big red Bulldog.
And Clifford gets tied up there for strike 1.
He's actually not their biggest player, though, so maybe he's not medium-sized.
Clifford, as I mentioned, 167, 2 for 12. Actually hasn't had a hit since August. Both of his hits, actually, as that's in there for strike 2, came in Game 3 against Andre on August 16th. Was 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI in that game. Fouls this one into the screener, ricochets back towards Putty. Through the first 5 games of the postseason for the Blue Sox, their starters have gone exactly 6 innings in each of them. There's a little nubber towards second. Silvestro Fields fires on to first, 1 down. So it's good that you're gaining length out of your starters, and it also keeps the bullpen fresh in the event that you might get a grinder. We could get one tonight, like the
third baseman
like Game 3 2 years ago, and it'll take 4 days to complete. But a lot is yet to be decided. Only in the top of the third here. Here's Johnny Hayes, the third baseman. He takes strike one. You say that now, Todd, but this is fouled off and it's 0-2. Well, I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think there should be a weather channel, just a bunch of chimpanzees with darts. 278 for Hayes in the postseason with 1 homer and 3 RBIs. This is grounded to Curley. Fires on to first. 2 down. A lot of ground balls here for Matt Karis.
In baseball, you only have to be successful 3 out of 10 times to be considered great. I guess weathermen feel the same way.
Oh, God. 2 down, and the lineup turns over for Darren Hartwell.
The center fielder, number 6, Darren Hartwell.
Hartwell grounded out to short, leading off the ball game. Lays down a bunt, but bunts it foul for strike 1. Five the first 8 outs via ground out for Karis. This is fouled to the left and out of play, strike 2. He's gotten 1 strikeout thus far. He used to be a big strikeout pitcher, but more of a pitch-to-contact guy these days. But again, still has the impressive postseason resume. This is into left center field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. This is going to allow Hartwell to get to second. Feliciano fields it, fires it into the cutoff man, Curley, and the Bulldogs have a runner in scoring position with 2 out. But I don't know if anyone can be considered a strikeout pitcher as much as Jared Frenny, that's for sure.
The shortstop, number 3, Kevin Marciano.
Did you know that actually in that big year Frenny had in 2014 where he went 10-0 and had 110 strikeouts in 69 innings and no homers allowed, he actually did not finish first in Ks per inning that year. Ball 1 to Kevin Marciano, who is 0 for 1 with a ground out to second.
How many walks did he have that season?
I'll have to look. Fouled away 1-1. But, as the Bulldogs can attest, Frenny is much more human in recent years, and they beat him twice. And you didn't charge him with the loss in Game 1, but they chased him. Didn't get shut down by him, and then Game 5 they beat him. 2-1 here. Tying run in scoring position for the Bulldogs as we play the top of the third of Game 3 of the best-of-5 ICL Championship Series. Popped up. Curley coming in. Makes the catch. Bulldogs strand a runner at second after 2.5. Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at www.lexingtonbluesox.com, facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Bottom of the third, 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Blue Sox. Jeff Vigers, Dan Graham, and Julian Alvarez.
First baseman, number 16, Jeff Vigers.
First pitch from Mandris to Vigers is pop foul to the left. Hayes giving it a look, but it's out of play for strike one. Bigsy laid down a bunt single his first time up. Fouls this one off for strike two. Check swing. It's upstairs for ball one. Check swing again. They appeal to Sam Finn, and he went around at third. So Vigers is down for out number one.
The designated hitter, number 9, Dan Graham.
Dan Graham up to bat, and he takes down in for ball one. Up and away, ball two. Graham fell behind in a couple of situations, 0-2 last night, and then came back to work walks and a couple of home runs. 3-0. Down and in, a 4-pitch walk issued to Dan Graham. And a one-out base runner for the Blue Sox.
The left fielder, number 24, Julian Alvarez.
I'll bring up Julian Alvarez. And he comes up empty for strike one. Julian flew out to center his first time up in the first. And a breaking ball drops in there for strike two, 0-2. Down and away, 1-2. The Bulldogs have hit 4 home runs in the postseason. The Blue Sox hit 4 home runs last night. And this is into left center field. On the run is Clifford, and he makes the catch. 2 down as Dan Graham retreats to first. That looked like that was going to get down for extra bases, but Clifford ran it down. Tough break again for Julian. And let's see what Ross Curley can do.
Shortstop number 4, Ross Curley.
Ross drove in what is thus far the game's only run back in the first with a 2-out single. 2-out double, actually. Blue Sox taking some mighty cuts at these pitches from Mandris, but haven't been making much contact. That's a breaking ball outside, 1-1. Mandris has thrown 48 pitches, 28 for strikes. This is fouled off, and it's 1-2. One run, 2 hits, no errors for the Blue Sox. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Bulldogs. Ross takes down and away. Graham runs. The throw down to second is in time. Graham is caught stealing, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. After 3 complete, Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
For the Blue Sox in the bottom of the 3rd inning, no runs, no hits, no Bulldogs errors, and no runners left on base. Here's your full
Coverage of Blue Sox baseball on LSP continues tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. if necessary, with Game 4 of the 2017 Intercity League Championship Series between the Blue Sox and the Reading Bulldogs. Watch live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel. Matt Karis, as usual, a fast warmer. We go to the top of the 4th. 3 innings in the books in 40 minutes. Karis did not get much run support in his win against Somerville, or at least not enough that the Blue Sox could put him away early like they had their opposition in in pretty much every other game this postseason. That's strike 1 to Mike DiDonato. The Royals actually took a 2-0 lead in Game 1, and we're up 2-1 entering the bottom of the 6th. That skips in the dirt 1-1. Before the Blue Sox strung together 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th, swing and a miss, strike 2, and 1 on a 2-out error by the Royal shortstop. And that was the difference, as the Blue Sox came with a 3-2 win in Game 1 against the Royals. And they've kept on rolling since, but a little more of a tightrope job here for Karis, as it's 2-2 with nobody out in the top of the 4th. Breaking ball misses low, full count. Payoff pitch. Grounder to short. Curly fields. Strong throw to first. In time! A little bit of a delayed call there from the first base umpire, but he rings him up. And there's 1 down.
The designated hitter, number 42, Zach Tallis.
Here's Zach Tallis, the DH. Tallis 0 for 1, and he takes on the outside corner for strike 1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Tallis lines this one. Diving catch by Ross Curley! All season long, we have seen both Curley and Chris Ruocco make stellar plays at shortstop, and there's another one right there as he takes away a base hit from Tallis, and there are 2 down.
The first baseman, number 44, Mike Taylor.
Just another day at the office for Ross. Didn't miss a beat coming back from Toronto. Mike Taylor takes strike 1. Outside 1-1. The Bulldogs were the first victims of the Blue Sox torrid offensive stretch in between July 20th and August 8th. when they won 11 straight games, and that first game of that winning streak was against the Bulldogs. Blue Sox won that game 8-2. Two and two the count. The pitch. Down and away. Full count. I think Putty and the Blue Sox infield thought that was strike three, but that did look a little low. So another full count for Karis. And he issues a walk. First walk issued by Karis. 2 out, 1 on for Chris Bosco.
The catcher, number 22, Chris Bosco.
I know that in a one-run game and a potential championship clincher, you got to be careful pitching to a power hitter like Taylor, but I think he was getting a little too cute there. Maybe. It's fouled straight back for strike one to Bosco. Bosco is 0 for 1, flew out to center his first time up in the second. Tying run at first. Outside 1-1. Blue Sox scored 1 run in the first, and that's all we've had thus far. Stark contrast to what we've grown accustomed to from the Blue Sox this year. Chop foul 1-2. Now, after being ahead of Taylor and eventually walking him, is he going to be more aggressive here to Bosco? Bosco, a very good hitter in his own right, and good speed if he can put one in the gap. He does try to get him to chase, but that was way up and away, and it's 2-2. I'll try to jam him with a two-seamer here. And he gets him to swing and miss. It was a changeup away, and the side is retired. So once again, the Bulldogs strand the tying run on base. And after 3.5, we're halfway home. It is the Blue Sox 1 and the Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
In the bottom of the 4th inning, Ross Curley, Justin Silvestro, and Thomas Russo. Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder,
Dr. Thomas Russo, General Dentistry of Winchester, is a proud supporter of the Lexington Blue Sox and the Intercity League. Dr. Russo and his dental staff offer a full range of dental services in their state-of-the-art office at 63 Shore Road in Winchester Center. Dr. Russo has been bringing high-quality and affordable dental care to his patients from Winchester and all its surrounding towns for 35 years. He regularly attends continuing education courses at Tufts, Harvard, and BU to keep up with the latest dental materials and procedures. Let Dr. Russo and his friendly staff provide you and your family with complete, comprehensive dental care. Call 781-721-4700. See if the Blue Sox offense can wake up here. 1-0 as we enter the bottom of the 4th. There's not the killer offensive instinct that they've been showing the first 2 games of this series, and the last 2 games of the Somerville series. Here's Ross, and he shows bunt and takes strike 1. Ross was at bat when Graham was thrown out stealing to end the 3rd. That's low ball 1. And he smokes this one right to the 3rd baseman, Hayes. Unlucky there. A couple of Blue Sox batters have been unlucky with some hard hit balls tonight. 1 down.
The second baseman, number 12, Justin Silvestro.
So that'll bring up Justin Silvestro. Stroh flew out to right on a hard hit ball to Steve Busby to end the first. And he comes up empty at a pitch up and away for strike one. Andrus has thrown 53 pitches, 30 for strikes, and time is called at the very last moment by Justin Silvestro. Up and in, 1-1. Chop foul at the dish, and Silvestro feels a little banged up there, 1-2. Alex Mandrus, in his first year with the Bulldogs, finds himself starting an elimination game. Got the one-pitch save his last time up, and that was just 3 days ago. A one-pitch save against Andre 3 days ago, as that is down low, 2-2. Blue Sox as a team batting .350 with a .969 OPS this postseason, as this is into left field. Back goes Clifford, and he runs it down for the out. Silvestro again with a hard hit ball to the outfield, but hangs up long enough for the Bulldogs to make the catch.
17, Thomas Russo.
2 down. Again, the Blue Sox batting .350 as a team with a .969 OPS, but only with 2 hits tonight. And Thomas Russo fouls this one off for strike one. Russo is 0 for 1. Reached on an error his first time up. Down and in, 1-1. This is a little looper down the left field line, out of the reach of Hayes, down the line for a base hit. Russo around first. He's going to try for second, and now he will hold up. Now he's caught between first and second. The throw is into right field, and now he gets to second anyway. So a runner now in scoring position for the Blue Sox, and here's John Puttress.
The catcher, number 6, John Puttress.
Putty 0 for 2 this postseason. Laid down sacrifice bunt his last time up, and he gets hit. So let's see what Josue Feliciano can do.
The center fielder, number 21, Josue Feliciano.
The bunt specialist, and with 2 out, you wonder if maybe he can catch the defense napping and leg out another bunt single here. Maybe load the bases for Costello. We'll see what he's got in mind. Does not square and takes outside ball 1. Sway takes on the outside corner, strike 1. 1-0 our score. Blue Sox with a 3 hits on the ball game. That's down and away, and Bosco will fire to second, and the throw gets into center field, and now Russo bluffs off of second and heads back. That was a lot of moving parts there, and Russo, in the end, probably could have had third, but there's too much going on in that. I don't blame him for holding at second. Hitters count for Sway. He pops this one up, fouling out of play, 2-2. Russo at second, Putris at first. 2 down, 2-2, bottom of the 4th. And Sway just barely stays alive there. One will definitely be off here with 2 strikes. And he comes up empty as he swings and misses at a pitch down and away. And the Blue Sox leave 2.
For the Blue Sox in the bottom
they have had their chances to make this a much more comfortable lead, but as it stands, after 4, Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
The 2017 ICL Championship Series, the Lexington Blue Sox 1, the Reading Bulldogs nothing. Scheduled to bat for the Bulldogs.
Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. No runs, 2 hits, 3 errors, and 3 men left for the Bulldogs. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and 5 men left for the Blue Sox. As here's Steve Busby to lead things off for the Bulldogs.
Right fielder number 38, Steve Busby.
And Busby looking to bunt. And he went around, says Sam Finn at third base for strike 1. Karis has thrown 58 pitches, 38 for strikes. And that is in there for strike 2, 0-2. Busby 0 for 1. Flew out to center to end the second, his first time up. He grounds this one down the first base line, and it is fielded in foul territory by Jeff Vigers. It remains 0-2. Busby, the only player, as I mentioned before, with Championship Series experience on the Reading Bulldogs. Faced these Blue Sox in 2010 in a series that the Blue Sox swept. Swing and a miss. Ball not held onto by Putris, but he throws to first, and he completes the play 2-3, 1 down.
The left fielder, number 20, Mason Clifford.
Here's Mason Clifford, the left fielder. 0 for 1. Still looking for his first hit of the series. And it's down and away for ball one. Grounder to the left side. Curley fires to first. High throw, but Vigers comes back down and lays the tag on him. Another fine defensive play by the Blue Sox, this time Vigers saving an error.
The third baseman, number 12, Johnny Hayes.
That'll bring up Johnny Hayes. Bulldogs' third baseman is 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. And Karis misses down and away for ball one. Blue Sox will have the top third of the order due up in the bottom half of this inning as they look to get some insurance. Fouled off 1-1. But in order to make sure that they have insurance, they have a chance to get insurance, Karis needs to get through the rest of this inning unscathed. He's 1-1 with Hayes. 2 out here in the top of the fifth. 65th pitch of the ball game for Karis coming up. And it's low for ball two. Karis has scattered 3 hits and 1 walk. He's struck out 3 thus far. This is skied into center field. Feliciano makes the catch. And that will end the inning. Blue Sox 6 defensive outs away. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It is still the Blue Sox 1 and the Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Here we go to the bottom of the fifth. Jeff Costello coming up to the plate for the third time. He's 0 for 2, but has scored a run. The only run of the ball game thus far. The Blue Sox dugout making some noise here, but Costello comes up empty at a pitch in the dirt, strike one. We're in the bottom of the fifth. We've only played about an hour of baseball. This is grounded to the left side. Hayes fires to first. And keeping his foot on the bag is Taylor for out number 1. Well, after the way the first 2 games were played, I don't know if many people necessarily expected a pitcher's duel tonight, but that's what we've got here on the bottom of the fifth.
The first baseman, number 16, Jeff Vigers.
Here's Jeff Vigers, laid down a bunt single. That's his only hit thus far. Blue Sox only have 3 hits. 1-0 game. No real action since the first. That's inside for ball 1. The Blue Sox have had plenty of chances to open up the lead, but they've left 5 through the first 4. That's upstairs 2-0. Hitters count here for Vigsy. Mandrus now at 72 pitches, 42 for strikes. And he lines this one up the middle and through for a base hit. Let's see if that's the spark the Blue Sox have been looking for.
The designated hitter, number 9, Dan Graham.
Dan Graham looking for his third home run of the postseason. Would be a huge boost if he can drive one. You know, not even a home run, just extra bases, try to chase Figers home. There's action warming in the bullpen for the Bulldogs. And that is low for ball one. Graham not just hitting for power, but also seeing the ball well. He's drawn 5 walks, 6 walks including tonight. Up and away, 2-0. And now Bosco's going out to have a word with Mandris. Graham, in his career in the postseason, is a .332 hitter with 7 homers and 40 RBIs. And a career OPS in the postseason of .1054. After, that is over 75 games before tonight. 3-0. After a bleak 2014 postseason in which he had 1 hit and 13 at-bats, now he draws another walk, his 7th of the postseason. First and second, they clearly want no part of Graham. They'd rather go after Alvarez. And here comes John Halsey. Are we going to have a pitching change? And it looks like we are. The gate has been opened in the right field bullpen. Mandris, I think, is pleading his case here. They've opened the gate to the bullpen. Halsey hasn't taken the ball from him yet. Hayes is coming in to have a word. And now home plate umpire Don January is going to come up and break up the meeting. Jeff January, excuse me. And that is, in fact, going to be it for Alex Mandris. So he exits. Responsible for the 2 runners on base, we have a pitching change coming to you from Morelli Field at Melrose High in Melrose, Mass. Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at www.localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. You can also subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel and support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. Just realized my microphone was off. Thank you, Mr. Russo. Jack Burke, the new pitcher, pitched Sunday night. Got the win in 6 2/3 in the clincher against Andre. 2-2 the count to Julian, and he just fouls that one off. And that got a good chunk of Bosco. And I think that really rung his doorbell there. This is going to take a minute, I believe. Initially, I thought that was going to be Julian's reaction. Got a piece of his foot or something, but he's okay. Can't say much of the same for Bosco. Looks like Bosco's okay to go, so 2-2 again to Julian. Burke comes set. The pitch. Down and away, full count. Ross Curley on deck. Center fielder Hartwell is playing very deep. That is outside for ball 4. As running with the pitch was Vigers, he might have, even if that was strike 3, he might have had the base stolen. But now the bases are loaded with 1 out for Ross Curley.
The shortstop, number 4, Ross Curley.
Ross Curley come up with another big hit. He drove in, again, was thus far the only run back in the first. Full windup by Burke in the pitch. Low for ball 1. Back-to-back walks issued by Bulldogs pitching. The walk to Graham chased Mandrus. And now the first batter that Burke faces, he walks. That's low, 2-0. Hitters count here for Ross. Swing and a miss. Good one down and in, and it's 2-1. Center fielder Hartwell a few steps towards left. The 2-1. Swing and a miss again, 2-2. You know Ross just wants to punish one and just put this one to bed, but I think he's trying to do too much with those swings. Just needs to get it deep to the outfield, at least for a sacrifice fly. And he swings and misses for strike 3. So after being ahead 2-0, Burke gets him to swing and miss at 3 consecutive pitches, and there are 2 down.
The second baseman, number 12, Justin Silvestro.
So can Justin Silvestro be the hero? Silvestro is 0 for 2, like much of the rest of the Blue Sox lineup. Hitless. He fouls this one off, and it's strike 1. Again, this could be a moment that decides the game. Burke winds and delivers. Swing and a miss. A good off-speed pitch, and he's ahead of Silvestro 0-2. Got Curley to chase down and in, and he's in the same spot to the lefty Silvestro down and away. The 0-2. Chop to the left side. This is charged by the shortstop, Marciano. Fires to first in time, and Jack Burke pulls a Houdini act. He gets out of a bases-loaded 1-out jam and leaves the score right where it is. The Blue Sox have left 8 through the first 5 innings.
For the Blue Sox in the bottom of the 5th inning, no runs on 1 hit. There were no Bulldogs errors, and there were 3 runners left
After 5 complete, still Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
2017 ICL Championship Series for the Lexington Blue Sox.
You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at www.lexingtonbluesox.com, facebook.com/Lexington Blue Sox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Matt Karis, of course, the notoriously fast warmer, ready to face the top third of the order for the Bulldogs as the Blue Sox were unable to extend his lead. Darren Hartwell will lead things off. He is 1 for 2 with a double.
Leading off for the Bulldogs in the top of the 6th inning, the center fielder, number 6, Darren Hartwell.
Hartwell, Marciano, and DiDonato due up, and that's strike 1 to Hartwell. Down and in, 1-1. If the score is still 1-0 when we go to the 7th, as that's a high swing and a miss, strike 2, would you consider putting Karis back out there to finish what he started? Rob DeFranco is likely not available. This is grounded to the right side. Diving stop by Silvestro, and he throws an off-line throw to first, and Hartwell is safe. I think he would have been out with a good throw, though. And with Hartwell and his speed, he could easily get to second.
The shortstop, number 3, Kevin Marciano.
But it's ruled an infield single. Tying run at first. This is the 3rd time the Bulldogs have gotten the tying run on base. Throw over to first, and that nearly went wide of Vigers. Marciano, 0 for 2. Popped up to short his last time up. Marciano, well, you could see him lay down a bunt here. 290 entering play tonight, but 1 for 9 in the series. He does square, gets it down. It's a good one. Karis has it, underhands to first, and the sacrifice is successful. And the tying run moves into scoring position with 1 out. And now the heart of the order comes to the plate with Mike DiDonato.
Number 8, Mike DiDonato.
DiDonato is 0 for 2. He grounded out to short his last time up and was struck out to end the first as that's fouled off. 0-1. The Blue Sox don't want to leave anything to chance. They want to finish the series tonight. And Karis spins back towards second and looks Hartwell back. Hartwell could easily take third, too. That runs in, nearly hits him. Putras corrals the ball, and it's 1-1. Hartwell has 3 stolen bases on the postseason, but none in this series. The 1-1. Grounder right back to Karis. He's going to look at Hartwell. They've got him in a hot box, and now he will throw to the second baseman, now to Russo, and Hartwell, did he get back safely? And Sam Finn says he's safe. The second base umpire didn't make the call. I'm surprised. Hartwell is saying the entire Blue Sox infield arguing that Hartwell should be out, and maybe, if nothing else, for being out of the baseline. But to no avail. First and second, one out for Zach Tallis.
The designated hitter, number 42, Zach Tallis.
Well, if nothing else, this sets up the double play possibility for the Blue Sox. Tallis 0 for 2. And he takes high, ball 1. Tallis lined out his last time up. A spectacular play by Curley. He comes up empty. 1-1. Tying run at second. Go ahead run at first here on the top of the 6th. Foul tipped into the mid. Putty cocks to fire to first, but getting back there is DiDonato, and it's 1-2. Foul tipped into the mitt for strike 3, and there is a big strikeout for Karis. Is probably the biggest out of the game to this point. 2 down, and that brings up Mike Taylor.
The first baseman, number 44, Mike Taylor.
Taylor already has a home run this series. 6 RBIs. And Karis misses for ball 1. Up and away, 2-0, hitters count. Taylor in the regular season was 2 for 8 with a double and a walk against the Blue Sox. That's low, 3-0. In his career in the postseason, Taylor is a .337 hitter with 2 homers and 9 RBIs. Taken for strike 1, and now Taylor will go to work. Laid in there for strike 2. Full count, runners will be off with this pitch. Karis comes set. Here it is. Lined into right field, down for a base hit. Being waved around third is Hartwell. He will score. This game is tied.
The catcher, number 22, Chris Bosco.
And it looks like Dan Graham is going to go out to the mound to have a word with Karis and Puttress. So now Karis' job is just to keep this a tie ball game. Now the entire infield is coming in. Big RBI there for Mike Taylor. He picks up his 7th of the postseason. Jeff January going out to break up the conference, but it breaks up before he gets there. This is the first time that Reading is not trailed in this series, and with another base hit, they could take their first lead of the series. Here's Chris Bosco, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And he grounds this one to the right side. Silvestro, it boots on him. He fires to first, and he gets the out anyway. So a heart attack moment there for Matt Karis and the Blue Sox. They prevent the go-ahead run from scoring, but the tying run does score. After 5.5, Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Blue Sox errors and 2 runners left on base. Scheduled to bat for the Blue Sox in the bottom of the the 6th inning, Thomas Russo, John Puttress, and Josue Feliciano.
Coverage of Blue Sox baseball and LSP continues tomorrow night, if necessary, at 7:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox take on the Reading Bulldogs in Game 4 of the Intercity League Championship Series. Watch or listen, watch live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel. The Blue Sox had their chances to avoid this being a tie game in this situation. They've left the bases loaded last inning after having them loaded with one out. Let's see what Thomas Russo can do. He's 1 for 2. Jack Burke comes back out there. And did that hit him? Not according to Jeff January. It's ball 1. He comes up empty, and it's 1-1. Russo singled and reached second on an error last time up. Good curveball on the outside corner for strike 2. I don't think we're going to be seeing Karis next half inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Catcher number 6, John
Burke picks up his second strikeout. And that'll bring up John Puttress. And he chops this one right back to the mound. Burke soft toss to first. 2 down. Just like that. And that'll bring up Josue Feliciano.
The center fielder number 21, Josue Feliciano.
Sway is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. See if he tries to catch the defense napping here. First baseman is in. He does square, pulls back, and it's a ball. Sway wants to try and drag it towards the third baseman. He's not the one crashing in. He does not square and takes ball 2. In there for strike 1, 2-1. In the top of the 7th, the Bulldogs left Busby, Clifford, and Hayes due up. That's outside, 3-1. And he grounds this one to the second baseman, D. Donato, fires to first. In time, we go to the top of the 7th. It is still the Blue Sox 1 and the Bulldogs 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information.
He's now pitching for the Lexington Blue Sox, number 26, Rob DeFranco.
Rob DeFranco working his third consecutive night. Has pitched 2 perfect innings with 1 strikeout this series. DeFranco, wants another perfect inning here to give the Blue Sox a chance to walk off the championship. But the veteran Steve Busby will lead things off. Busby, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. DeFranco delivers, and he lines this one over the head of the shortstop, Curley, playing to the right of second base, and the go-ahead run is aboard. And will we see a pinch runner here for Busby?
The left fielder, number 20, Mason Clifford.
That'll bring up Mason Clifford. No sign of a pinch runner yet. Clifford 0 for 2. Grounded out to short his last time up. Squares to bunt, pulls back, and it's ball 1. Blue Sox have left 8 men on base through the first 6 innings. They haven't scored since the first. The Bulldogs scored the tying run last inning off of Matt Karis. Gets this one down the first base line, but it's foul for strike 1. And a little soft liner up the middle, just out of the reach of Curley. And now Busby at first. Blue Sox at one point had the 2 on, nobody out, and the bases loaded 1 out. And another point. Reading right now out hitting the Blue Sox 5-4. But the Bulldogs have committed 3 errors. He squares again, gets it down the first base line. Vigers bobbles it, throws to first in time. The go-ahead run advances to second.
The third baseman, number 12, Johnny Hayes.
So that'll bring up Johnny Hayes, the number 9 hitter, who's 0 for 2. Clifford still protesting his case at first, but to no avail. So, runner in scoring position, 1 out for Hayes. DeFranco comes set. And time is called. The pitch from DeFranco. In there for strike 1. The sacrifice went 3-4 for those of you scoring at home. And that's a bit of a generous strike, I think, and it's 0-2. Swing and a miss, and a pitch way outside for strike 3. And now the lineup turns over for Darren Hartwell. 2 for 3 tonight. He scored the tying run last inning. And he's batting .500 on the series.
The center fielder, number 6, Darren Hartwell.
Oh, and they just intentionally walked Hartwell. So that'll bring up Kevin Marciano, and will he make them pay?
The shortstop, number 3, Kevin Marciano.
Marciano is 0 for 2 and batting .111 in the series, but he can make up for it with a big hit right here. And he takes strike 1. Blue Sox will have the top third of the order coming up in the bottom half of this inning. Costello, Vigers, and Graham. Chopper. DeFranco. Fires to first. He's safe! And Busby's coming home! And they got him! Steve Busby got way too aggressive there. Good heads-up play by Vigers, not protesting the call too much, and throwing home to throw out the potential go-ahead run in Busby. That fired up the Blue Sox dugout. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Blue Sox have a chance to walk it off. It is still the Blue Sox 1 and the Bulldogs 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
For the Bulldogs in the top of the 7th inning, no runs on 2 hits. There were no Blue Sox errors, and there was...
Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. We have a new pitcher for the Reading Bulldogs, and it's Jack Therio taking over for Jack Burke. Jeff Costello to lead things off. And Costello takes strike 1 from Therio. Costello 0 for his last 7. He takes inside 1-1. Each of the last 2 Game 3s in the championship series for the Blue Sox is grounded down the third baseline foul, 1-2, has ended up being a 1-run game. Little broken bat right back to Therio. He underhands to first, and that is not the way the Blue Sox wanted to start the bottom of the 7th with a chance to win. 1 down.
The first baseman, number 16, Jeff Vigers.
After the last 4 games where the Blue Sox offense was just firing on all cylinders, it's been just dead silent tonight with just the 1 unearned run in the first. Here's Vigers, 2 for 3. He takes ball 1. He chops this one down the first base line, and this is going to squirt foul for strike one. Theriault making his 4th appearance of the postseason. 1-0 with a 1.75 ERA, 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Last pitched Monday against Lexington. Threw 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, and struck out 1. Theriault will have to wait as Vigers calls time at the last moment. Down and away, 2-1. Next offering. That's a strike, 2-2. Vigers not happy with that call. Didn't argue too much, but I could tell he was wincing at that one. Now Theriault wants to cycle through the signs again with Bosco. Outside, full count. Dan Graham on deck. Grounder to the right side. DiDonato fires to first, 2 down.
The designated hitter, number 9, Dan Graham.
Can Dan Graham prolong the inning, or are we going to extras? Graham is 0 for 1 with 2 walks. The pitch, taken for ball 1. Although that looked to be in the same spot that Vigers' strike 2 was. Taken for strike 1, 1-1. Takes low, ball 2. Infield back, outfield deep. Outside, 3-1. The pitch into left field, and this will be hung on to by Clifford. Wow, he took the wrong turn on it initially, but recovered. And we have bonus baseball. Praying we don't have to turn on the sprinklers. After 7 complete, still Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at www.localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. You can also subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel and support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. Top of the 8th, Rob DeFranco's still out there, and the Blue Sox, for the second time in 3 years, find themselves playing extra innings in Game 3 of the championship series.
Top of the 8th inning, second baseman number 8, Mike DiDonato.
The 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up here for Reading: DiDonato, Tallis, and Taylor. And that is a strike, 0-1. DiDonato is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. It's been Karis and DeFranco for the Blue Sox. Mandrus, Burke, and Therio for the Bulldogs. Chopped towards the Blue Sox dugout, and it's 0-2. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down, and that brings up Zach Tallis.
The designated hitter, number 42, Zach Tallis.
Tallis 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout, 111 on the series. First pitch to the veteran Tallis, taken for strike 1. That is at the knees for strike 2, and Tallis doesn't like the call. Outfield, at least Feliciano, clearly playing no doubles. He is almost against the fence. Reached for, into right field. Back goes Costello. Runs it down, 2 down. So that'll bring up Mike Taylor.
The first baseman, number 44, Mike Taylor.
Probably the most dangerous hitter in the Bulldogs lineup this series. 2 for 2 tonight, batting .667 on the series. He's also drawn a walk. DeFranco comes set. The pitch. Down and away, ball 1. There is action behind DeFranco in the bullpen. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, and a pitch down and away, and it's 1-1. Outfield playing very deep, infield also playing back. That's on the inside corner, 1-2. That came into the inside corner of the lefty Taylor and winced at that call. 1-2. Down and away, 2-2. 1 run, 6 hits, 3 errors for the Bulldogs. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Blue Sox. Blue Sox have also left 8. DeFranco comes set. The 2-2. Down the left field line and foul, remains 2-2. We expect Therio out there for the bottom half of this inning. And now Putty is going to come out to the mound, and actually DeFranco wants a fresh baseball. Mandrus pitched the first 4 1/3 in the 5th inning. Allowed 2 runners to reach, pleaded his case with John Halsey to stay in the game. Fouled off. Halsey took the ball anyway, gave it to Jack Burke. Jack Burke walked the first batter he faced, Alvarez, to load the bases, but then struck out Curley and then retired Silvestro, and that was the last Blue Sox threat. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So DeFranco takes the drama out of the top of the 8th, and once again a chance for the Blue Sox to win it in the bottom half. After 7 1/2, Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Julian Alvarez, Ross Curley, and Justin Silvestro.
You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at www.lexingtonbluesox.com, facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Bottom of the 8th, middle third of the order, due up. Alvarez, Curley, and Silvestro. Blue Sox offense has been all but silent since the first.
Bottom of the 8th inning, the left fielder, number 24, Julian Alvarez.
Julian or Julian Alvarez, however you slice it. 0 for 2 with a walk. Therio winds and delivers. And that misses inside for ball 1. Julian batting .200 on the series, on the postseason rather. That drops in there for strike 1, 1-1. And that's fouled off. He was looking to win the championship with that swing right there, 1-2. One, two from Therio. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Alvarez is set down. 1 down.
The shortstop, number 4, Ross Curley.
Bulldogs pitchers have set down 9 Lexington batters in a row. Curley takes ball 1. Looked like Curley was going to deliver the biggest hit of the ball game in the 5th when he was ahead 2-0 of Burke, but then swung and missed at 3 straight pitches as he fouls that one off, 1-1. Curley is 1 for 3, drove in the Blue Sox only run way back in the 1st. He fouls this one off, and it's 1-2. Blue Sox looking to win their 13th Intercity League championship. The Bulldogs trying to force a Game 4 tomorrow. The pitch. Taken low, 2-2. Therio winds and delivers. Swing and a miss. Pitch down and away. 2 down.
The second baseman, number 12, Justin Silvestro.
That'll bring up Justin Silvestro. He is 0 for 3. 6 strikeouts by Bulldogs pitchers tonight. Silvestro fouls this one into the screen for strike 1. Misses just barely, 1-1. Well, some of these close calls haven't been going Therio's way, but it hasn't fazed him too much. 2-1. He's done a great job keeping his composure and been challenging the Blue Sox hitters anyway. That's a strike, and it's 2-2. Can he strike out the side and send us to the 9th? Not with that pitch.
We also haven't had a called third strike this game either. Tonight, all strikeouts.
That would have been our first called third strike tonight, but as it stands, full count to Silvestro. And he swings and misses, and he does, in fact, strike out the side. The side is retired. The Blue Sox have been retired 11 in a row. And after 8 complete, still Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
The Bulldogs 1 and the Lexington Blue Sox 1.
Coverage of Blue Sox baseball on LSP continues tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. if necessary with Game 4 of the 2017 Intercity League Championship Series between the Blue Sox and the Reading Bulldogs. Watch live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel. So a couple of changes for the Blue Sox as we begin the top of the ninth. Chris Ruaco has entered the game at second base for Justin Silvestro. And the new pitcher is Jeff Blout. Blout making his third appearance of the postseason and first of this series. Got the save in Game 1 against Somerville, allowing 1 hit and no runs while striking out 2. He entered the game in the top of the 7th against Somerville in Game 3 when he was up 11-1, when the Blue Sox were up 11-1, and allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, and 2 walks in 2/3 of an inning. Also hit a batter. So he's looking for an effort more like Game 1 than Game 3. Chris Bosco to lead things off. And he takes strike 1 with a fastball. Bosco is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Blout, the third pitcher of the ball game for the Blue Sox. And that misses 1-1. Karis went the first 6. And DeFranco went 2, and now it's Blout's turn. Fouled off onto Linfells Parkway, and it is 1-2. I remember when we had the saga of Game 3 2 years ago. As the pitch is way down and away, 2-2. It was also on Thursday night, yeah. The lights and the sprinklers came on at 11. The sprinklers came on like 11, and that's the point at which we had to suspend the game. Hopefully, we can complete this game by then. Swing and a miss, strike 3 at a high fastball. After a lot of contact outs, mostly contact outs to the first portion of this ballgame, the strikeouts piling up for both teams. That'll bring up Steve Busby. And he fouls this one off for strike 1. Busby is 1 for 3 with a strikeout and was thrown out trying to score on an infield single in the top of the 6th that ended that inning. The pitch from Blout. Into left field, Russo towards the line, makes the catch, 2 down. So that'll bring up Mason Clifford, who is 0 for 2. Blout winds and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike one. In the bottom of the ninth, the Blue Sox will have Russo, Putris, and Feliciano due up. That's on the outside corner, strike two. And the Blue Sox will look to break this string of 11 in a row retired. Right now, Blout has to get one more strike. Down and away, 1-2. Mandris for the first 4 1/3 for Reading. He allowed 4 hits, 1 unearned run, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Burke, 1 2/3, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And thus far for Therio, 2 innings with 3 strikeouts. 2 perfect innings at that. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Blout picks up 2 strikeouts.
For the Bulldogs in the top of the ninth inning, no runs, no hits.
Once the third opportunity to win it for the Blue Sox coming up in the bottom of the ninth. Blue Sox 1, Bulldogs 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Bottom of the ninth, Thomas Russo to lead things off.
Blue Sox in the bottom of the ninth inning. The third baseman, number 17, Thomas Russo.
Blue Sox dugout getting loud in support of Russo, who is 1 for 3. And he takes up and away ball 1. Therio still out there for his 3rd inning of work. The pitch on the outside corner, 1-1. Next offering, fouled over the screen and onto Tremont Street, and we finally have an official broadcast. Blue Sox have been retired 11 in a row. And Russo... There was? Okay. Pop foul. Still 1-2. Well, I didn't think they got all the way onto Tremont Street, so you figure it out. Thought they just got just past the field. 1-2 again to Russo. Down low, 2-2. Therio delivers the 2-2. Little blooper into on the infield, and it'll be caught by the shortstop Marciano, 1 down. And now Alex Wojtek is going to pinch hit for John Putris.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for John Putris, number 8, Alex Wojtek.
And Wojtek, little inside-out swing, but this will be caught by the second baseman, DiDonato. And just like that, 2 down. 13 in a row retired by Bulldogs pitching. Both sides pitching. Both teams' pitchers doing a good job taking the drama. And the Thunder out of the offense. Sway looks to bunt, pulls back, and it's ball one. Sway chops this one to the left side. Marciano boots it, and it's into center field. It actually took a weird turn on him on the lip of the grass. My mistake. But there's your winning run at first base in bizarre fashion.
The right fielder, number 7, Jeff Costello.
And that'll bring up Jeff Costello. Costello is 0 for 4. And he swings and misses for strike one. I tell you, Therio's doing a good job taking advantage of the Blue Sox aggressiveness here. That is on the inside corner, 0-2. That breaks a string of 13 in a row retired by Bulldogs pitching with the first hit for the Blue Sox since the 5th. In Feliciano's single, that is outside, 1-2. Costello 0 for his last 8, scored the only Blue Sox run way back in the first. Throw over to first. It gets away from Taylor, but not nearly far enough for Feliciano to try to go to second. So, 1-2. Here to Costello, the ICL batting champion. Hayes playing close to the line at third. And he swings and misses. Another strikeout for Therio. It's his 4th in 3 innings of work. And we are going to the 10th. The score still, the Blue Sox won and the Bulldogs won. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
9 innings of play here in game number 3 of the 2017 ICL Championship Series for the Reading Bulldogs. 1 run, 6 hits, 3 errors, 7 runners left on base. For the Lexington Blue Sox, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, and 9 runners left on base. Scheduled to bat for the
Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Looks like we have a pinch hitter to begin. Do we have a pinch hitter? No, that's Johnny Hayes. My apologies.
The third baseman, number 12, Johnny Hayes.
Johnny Hayes will take to the mound as Jeff Blout enters his 2nd inning of work. Todd just said that apparently the sprinklers go on and the lights go off at 11:30. 9-1-2 due up for the Bulldogs here in the 10th. This is chopped foul at the dish for strike one. Hayes, Hartwell, and Marciano. Hayes is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. There's a bunch of white jerseys down there beyond right field. That's outside. 1-1. Misses outside, 2-1. You know it's a long game when the inning says it's the 0th inning. Scoreboard here at Morelli only goes up to 9, and I don't think they were anticipating this. High fastball swung on and missed for strike 2. pitch, fouled off. 1 run, 6 hits, 3 errors, and 7 men left for the Bulldogs. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, and 9 men left for the Blue Sox. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 down. Both teams have had plenty of chances to pad their totals, but 1 down, and that brings up the leadoff man, Darren Hartwell. Hartwell was intentionally walked his last time up, and he takes outside ball 1. This is driven deep to right. Costello going back to the wall, turns, reaches up, and he makes the catch. Yeah, that took a fairly circuitous route for Costello to run it down. And Hartwell with a huge, the perfect sound off the bat, but it is a loud and long out number 2. And that brings up Kevin Marciano. And he's hit. So that ends 5 up, 5 down for Blout. And here comes Matt Karis to have a word with Blout. And wonder who you have to back up Marciano if he has to leave the game. He's fine on first right now, but and the conversation is over.
The second baseman, number 8, Mike DiDonato.
Here's Mike DiDonato, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts tonight. Blout comes set, working from the stretch for the first time. And that's down and away for ball 1. DiDonato batting .200 in the series. Throw over to first. Back safely is Marciano. Go ahead, run it first for the Bulldogs. Popped foul to the right now to play, and it's strike 1. Blue Sox will have Vigers, Graham, and Alvarez due up in the bottom of the 10th. That's a strike, 1 and 2. Now, if this was a regular season game, we wouldn't be playing right now because it's 9 innings max, and then the game would be a tie. But here we are in postseason play in the 10th. And time is called by Marciano.
We do. What time? Okay. Well, 11 or 11:30.
Grounder to the left side. Curley will take the long way to first. In time. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Still, the Blue Sox won and the Bulldogs won. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
One runner left on base. Scheduled to bat for the Blue Sox in the bottom of the 10th inning. Jeff Vigers, Dan Graham, and Julian Alvarez.
You can follow local sports productions on the web at www.localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. You can also subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel and support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. Mrs. Wojtik, if you're still watching, Cheryl and Andrea say hi and want to make sure that you're ironing right now. Jeff Vigers stepping to the plate, 2 for 4. The only Blue Sox batter with a multi-hit game tonight. He has 2 of the Blue Sox 5 hits. And J.P. Songin, the new pitcher. And he gets the bunt down the third baseline. This is a good one, and he is safe. Second bunt single of the game for Vigers. It's landed in the exact same spot as the one in the first.
The designated hitter, number 9, Dan Graham.
Here's Dan Graham, and according to Todd, we believe that's it for the Bulldogs. The soft-tossing Songin working here. Started in right field, game 1, pitched last night, and I was pitching tonight. And now Graham is going to try and bunt, but he pulls back in time for ball 1. The pitch, Graham squares again, pulls back, but this is a strike, 1-1. And I don't know, like, are they counting on Songin to be slow to react, fielding potential bunts? Also the soft tossing, Graham with his power, and he grounds this one down the third baseline, a swinging bunt, and he's gonna beat it out. Are you kidding me? Wow! This is a crazy start to the inning. Those 2 balls, yeah, Bruce just said those balls didn't go 90 feet combined. And we have first and second, nobody out, and here's Julian Alvarez, and will he try to lay one down? Julian 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Throw over to second, and he's safe. They nearly caught Vigers napping. That would have been a killer for the Blue Sox if Vigers got picked off. The pitch. And Julian gets a bunt down the first base line! And they get it to the second baseman, DiDonato covering. Second and third, 1 out. Julian Alvarez lays down the sacrifice bunt.
I don't know, maybe. We'll find out.
And that'll bring up Ross Curley. He drove in the first Blue Sox run. He's got another chance here. And now they're just going to intentionally walk him, and that'll bring up Chris Ruaco. And Ruaco, and no, it's not going to be Ruaco. It's going to be Dorian Rojas. Interesting. Dorian Rojas pinch hitting for Chris Ruaco.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for Chris Ruaco. Number 5, Dorian Rojas.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Infield in. Dorian at bat. 3 bunts and an intentional walk this inning. And Dorian nearly got hit. 1-0. How would that... How'd you like to be hit by a pitch to win a championship? Way outside, and having to rein that one in is Bosco, 2-0. Vigers at third, Graham at second, Curley at first. This is into left field! That is down! The Lexington Blue Sox have won the 2017 Intercity League Championship! And in walk-off fashion for the second time in 3 years. It's their 13th league championship in their 23-year history. They become only the second team to have 2 separate streaks of 3 or more championships. They are now 1 championship behind the Andre Chiefs for the most in Intercity League history. And Dorian Rojas, the pinch hit single in one of the weirdest ways to score a run to win a ball game, let alone a championship, in walk-off fashion. 3 bunts and an intentional walk. The Blue Sox had left 9 men on base in the first 9 innings. They had been retired 12 in a row at one point. They hung in there, and they claimed the championship again. What a game! How do you like that? An epic conclusion to a season in which the Blue Sox was the Blue Sox offense was at its most prolific at almost any time in their history. They end up winning the championship in a game that ends at 2-1. How do you like that? Our players of the game are Jeff Vigers, 3 for 5 with the championship-winning run, and Jeff Blout, 2 innings for the win with 3 strikeouts. Dan Graham is likely going to take postseason MVP as he finishes the postseason at .429 with 7 walks drawn, 2 homers, and 4 RBIs. Wow. The final totals for the Reading Bulldogs: 1 run, 6 hits, 3 errors, and for the Lexington Blue Sox, 2 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. The winning pitcher is Jeff Blout, 1-0. The losing pitcher is J.P. Songen, 0-1. Time of the game was 2 hours and 23 minutes. Congratulations again. Congratulations certainly go out to the Reading Bulldogs, who pulled off an unprecedented run to get to the championship, becoming the first 6 seed and the first sub-500 team since 2006 to advance to the championship series, sweeping Watertown and beating Andre in a thrilling 5-game series. But the Blue Sox, they played like they've been here before, let alone 15 times before, and they win their 13th ICL championship in 23 years. What a season! So, with that said, this has been a presentation of the Lexington Blue Sox in association with Local Sports Productions, serving Greater Boston student-athletes since 2011. Copyright 2017, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Lexington Blue Sox or Local Sports Productions is strictly prohibited. Coverage of Blue Sox, this actually concludes coverage of Blue Sox baseball on LSP for the 2017 season. Thanks for joining us for the 6th season of Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Check Local Sports Productions social media accounts and localsportsproductions.com for the upcoming fall schedule in the next coming weeks. And be sure to follow LSP on the web, localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, Twitter at LSP37. And subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel and support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. Once again, the final score from Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass. The Lexington Blue Sox defeat the Reading Bulldogs 2-1 in 10 innings and claim their 13th Intercity League championship. My name is Sam Feely. As usual, thanks for tuning in.